Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf Weekly Podcast. I'm Hunter, joined again by Trevor and Connor. The boys are back together.
We are boys and we're back.
We're all back. We got the Turku Open went down this past weekend. I would update the Manufacturers Cup, but I don't think I've got it yet. But we'll update the Manufacturers Cup probably next week. We'll talk a little PDJ Masters Worlds went down.
Oh, yeah.
I found a fun
Big
Reddit.
Joe?
Yeah, I found a fun Reddit thread to go through, and then we'll hopefully get to the rest of the questions from Twitter before updating our top 10. Fun like episode ahead. But before we get into all of that, got to thank the sponsor of today's episode. Not every man has children, but every man is responsible for their 2 boys below the waist. When your little guys need some attention, trust Manscaped for all your grooming dreams. Join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going over to manscaped.com and use code GRIPLOCK for 20% off and free shipping. You heard it here first. The boys are back in town. Very fitting, given the boys are back in town today.
Nice. That is fitting.
Introducing the Lawnmower family, including the Lawnmower 3.0 Plus, the 4.0 Pro, and the 5.0 Ultra. Yep, 3 trimmers. Isn't it awesome? For the basic trim, go with the 3.0, and then you can work your way up to the 4.0 and 5.0 for the ultimate grooming experience. Taking it on the go? No worries. Manscaped has you covered. These trimmers come with a travel case and even a travel lock feature to avoid any accidental powering and or weird looks in the airport.
You sure don't want it.
Get 20% off and free shipping with code GRIPLOCKED over at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with the code GRIPLOCKED at manscaped.com. Support them as they support us. One of our longest going advertisers.
You could probably trim this paint roller bare as can be.
Trevor has trimmers.
Wow. Let's put that down before people get a visual. Turku Open went down this past weekend.
Impossible shot.
Nope.
Good stop. Good stop.
Oh, no.
It's not in the shot. It's not in the shot.
By the way, Silas, I forgot to give you the bag for Silas Select. I hit the Silas Select last week.
I'm
dead serious.
Oh, yeah.
He was
You're
a warlock.
liar. You're
Silas,
a dirty
back
liar.
me up. I got
You're
a warlock last week.
And also, I'd like to add, you guys are snakes because I said on the week that you weren't here, I said, no, I would never do it when the 3 of us
How
aren't
was I
here.
supposed to know that?
You should have.
Well,
you should have remembered.
How was I supposed to know that?
At that point, it had been so long since we'd done it. It just made sense to do it.
Yeah,
It's just funny because I said
Connor
I said I would
funny.
never do it when all the boys aren't here because I wouldn't want anybody to miss out on the vibe.
I
was
take
funny
part
was
of the
Connor-
credit because I said wizard
I was
first.
like, Connor
and
said
I
wizard
think Hunter-
first, and then I said warlock. It's like, oh, wizard, warlock. And then it was a freaking warlock.
I don't believe you.
You want to see the clip?
I bet you did make a clip. I bet you rigged it. I wasn't here. I'll never believe you.
I'll pull
and
it
this
up
is why I said it should never be done when somebody isn't here because I will now have animosity for the rest of the time, and I'll never believe you.
Silas has it.
I'll never believe you. I'll die.
I'll get it again. I'll go back.
I'll
to back.
die on this
Silas
hill.
and I are linked. It's like Avatar.
I will die on the hill.
We did.
We did do it last week.
There wasn't funny. It was funny as I said something of like I said something of
Good thing I didn't get worked up about it. That would have been embarrassing.
I said something. I was like, "Oh, we can't do Silas Select. Not all of us are here." And Connor goes, "Yeah, we didn't do one last week either." I was like, "Oh, perfect. Makes perfect sense." And then I immediately after I was like, "We got to tell him I got it."
Well, I figured you had actually filmed it. And
would
just
be
said
smart.
like I figured you had filmed the clip and then before that on the show said, guys, we're gonna film this clip just so we can show it. That's what I thought was about to happen.
I would say you responded fairly mildly, Trevor. I feel like
Yeah, I
any of
thought there
us
was
would have
more
freaked
yelling.
out way more.
I was gonna be more yelling.
I mean, I was.
What was he? We were in
I just
sync
kinda-
there, Connor.
I
'cause
kind of,
I was about to say what's funny is Connor guessed the wizard, and then Connor goes, "Yeah, I guessed the wizard right before." I'm like,
It was like we rehearsed that.
"Yeah."
That's
Dude,
sicko
Trevor,
stuff right
also,
there. Sicko stuff. Hope you like that,
just
you
to
little
give you
sicko
everybody a
listeners.
little preview, if you're not part of the Heiser Club, we do the Heiser Club mailbag every Friday. It's super fun. You get to submit questions.
Did I miss a
and we
fun
answer
game on
them.
there too?
We're going to do it this week as well, but somebody did the How Well Do You Know
Oh
Hunter.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So I got Connor's preliminary score set.
We're not
So
going
you
to tell
can
you
go-
how many out of how
Yeah.
many.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can go head to head against Connor.
Cool.
We also went.
I kind of killed it.
He did. We also went back
Yeah.
down the iced tea, sweet tea route. We got more information. This is my statement.
Okay.
You tell me if my statement. This is where
Okay.
I
Go
landed.
ahead,
And
make a
people on
statement.
Grip Block,
Make a
you can
statement.
you
We
can
can't
chime in.
talk
I drank
about this for
iced
too
tea
long.
all
We
week
won't.
at the
We won't.
beach.
Okay, so there's iced tea and sweet tea. Connor and I, to give you some background, if you're not a Heiser Club member, if you want to be, patreon.com/Foundation Disc Golf. If you're not a Heiser Club member, though, Connor and I, being raised in the South, always just assumed iced tea meant unsweet tea. Because you have sweet tea down here, and you always heard when you went up north.
If you order iced tea, you have they'll give you unsweet tea.
But iced tea is just a blanket for cold tea. So it can be sweet, it can be unsweet, it can be whatever. Some people were chiming in that like in New York, if you order iced tea, you get tea with just packs of sugar on the side, and it is unsweet, which is what Connor and I thought. So the statement I eventually landed on was the tea The tea is as sweet as the people.
This is a specifically Hunter take. Just to be clear, I don't want to be roped into this.
So like the tea's as sweet as the people. So like if you're in New York City, yeah, you're getting some sugar packets on the side and some unsweet tea. If you're from York County, Pennsylvania, it's probably gonna be pretty sweet.
I mean,
Hunter, I felt like this take should have been reserved for the mailbag.
I was just a statement because like if you're getting offended, you probably drink your tea sweet because you're probably a sweet person.
Yeah, it's not a problem if you just serve your tea with sugar in it.
Well, no, I think it's just a natural. Like if you got Southern hospitality, you're gonna put some sugar in some tea, and it's gonna be the tea's as sweet as the people.
Well, what's funny is I don't know. I went back and because I did a lot of thinking that night, and I went back and I remembered another iced tea that was like a very signature iced tea in my area, which is Turkey Hill iced tea. And I was like, let me look up that one.
They make ice cream.
Because that one, they're based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That one, I was like, for sure, that is an iced tea I would say was synonymous with like Pennsylvania, like my area. Sure enough, just as much sugar. So I'm right there with you. We need to make a stand.
I think we need to go. We need to go to like another place that is like just known for being not necessarily rude, but like they're just like they give it to you straight.
Well, what food / drink are we going to tear down next?
We should have went to when we were in Boston because Boston's a very like they'll tell you how it is.
Hey, I'm honking here.
We should have. Yeah, I did make a joke about that on the mailbag. But when we should have went to Boston and ordered an iced tea.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. Let me Google it. We'll do one quick Google and then we'll get back to disc golf.
Sorry guys, one quick Google. That's a new segment called One Quick Google.
Iced
whenever we were in Boston, I also Googled
Boston.
Why is everybody
Well, I think it's all in the
us?
harbor, isn't it?
I think I also made that joke.
That's why it's iced. Whenever we were in Boston, just let everybody know, I literally Googled, why is everybody honking at us? Because it was you constantly people were honking at Hunter.
Oh, if people turn left downtown.
Yeah. No, Connor was Googling if people just don't turn left. Because like I had to turn left and I couldn't go. And a UPS driver was behind me. We went up there to play Maple Hill. UPS driver was behind me. He goes, and I'm like, I can't go left. So Connor Googled.
It was every time he tried to turn left, people were honking at him.
So that's what, okay, so unlike traditional iced tea, Boston iced tea is known for its slightly sweet flavor profile.
Comment down below what your state's iced tea is.
Yeah.
Because it's different everywhere.
Boston is slightly sweet, which makes sense.
This is how we figured out, Trevor.
Because on the range, I would say Boston, from my experience being there, slightly sweeter than the people I ran into in New York.
We think that England,
New York City. I guarantee in the farmland like Buffalo, New York, they're probably drinking some darn sweet tea.
We think that England has the tea culture, but we don't realize right under our nose we have one of the most diverse tea cultures.
We just call it iced
there.
tea.
Oh yeah.
We also found out Bojangles refers to all of their tea as iced tea.
Yeah, it says on
iced
the cup,
tea, sweet
world
tea
legendary iced tea. I was drinking
holding a
Bojangles during the mailbag, and I went, "No way, Hunter! Look!" And it said on the cup, legendary iced tea. Crazy.
All right.
Anyways, if you enjoyed that, you're gonna love the mailbag. That's pretty much just imagine an hour of that.
If you didn't enjoy that,
then
you probably don't drink your tea sweet.
Don't worry, we're about to get into disc golf. The Turku Open went down this past weekend. It was another one of the full Pro Tour events that happened in Europe. So not quite a full field, but
is that one in Finland? Is that where they were? Turku?
Let's see. MPO Turku, Finland. Yes, sir.
I am literally a beast at geography.
Why don't you try to pronounce the course?
That would be a little closer. That would be Lovori.
There's more.
Frisbee golf pistol.
Why are you changing?
I don't know.
I have to get an accent in character.
Okay.
I was becoming UC.
So we had
a pretty good accent.
Desmania Pito.
Nicholas Antela took down first James Proctor. Weird European name.
We really started off hot with first we made fun of all New York, and then I'm pretty sure I just offended all of Finland.
You did just offend a lot of people, but it's okay. I've got a lot of good stuff.
Best.
I got a lot of good stuff to say about this tournament, so we'll bring it back in.
Okay.
Nicholas Antela won, James Proctor second. Marty Villman. I listened for so long because I knew I was going to mess it up.
I'd like to.
Maori, I think is how I want to say it.
Maori.
So I'm a roll with it. Maori Villman. And then on the FPO side, we had Silva Saarinen take it down over Evelina Salonen in second and Henna Blomroos in third.
I'd like to claim, I'd like to crown James Proctor of the king. He's now the king of going all the way to Europe, taking the trouble, and then coming in second. I think he's done it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't the only one. I think, let's see.
There weren't a lot of them, of Yanks over there, if you will.
Eric Oakley made the trip, came in 29th.
Oh, Eric.
I thought Clay Edwards made the trip, came in 37th.
That's what the British people call us, the Yankees. Yanks.
I don't know if there's any other
Anyways,
U.S.
They
people
call
that made
all
the trip.
Americans Yankees.
that's like a nickname for us.
Don't know.
Interesting.
Silva Saarinen took it down, though.
Whatever.
Impressive win over Henna and Evelina. We talked about this last time, where the FPO, the field, is stronger because two of the best players, being Henna and Evelina, are also over there.
Yeah, boy.
And if you look at Silva's season this far, it was kind of just waiting for this to happen. Because if you look, she started at U.S. Women's was her first event of the year, 34th. Not great. Well, then she goes 23rd at Texas State. Okay, a little better. Then she goes 10th at Jonesboro. Now we're talking 9th at Music City. Okay, 4th at Champions Cup. Wow.
You're talking.
And then she went over and got 3rd at the Copenhagen Open, played 2 silver events back-to-back over the DGPT silver events, won both of those, and then just won. So she's literally went 34th and just slowly climbed her way up to now 3 wins in a row. 2 silvers.
I just really
one
enjoyed your
Turku
exclamations.
Also,
your exclamations were making me laugh.
Also, Silva
That's what I was
Saarinen
laughing
is a
at.
sick name.
Yeah.
So
It was a very solid performance out there for Evelina and Henna. It was a very classic way for them to lose. Evelina led the field in fairway hits, C1 in regulation and C2 in regulation, but lost to her putting.
that's shocking.
Henna basically led the field in all of the other throwing stats. Let me actually tell you what she led the field in here, because Henna led the field in scramble percentage and parked percentage, and she was right behind Evelina in the C1, C2. But here's the stat. Silva Saarinen gained 14.67 strokes putting on the field, and Evelina and Henna both lost over 1 stroke. So to Silva, who they lost to by 2 and 3 respectively, they lost 15 and 16 strokes putting.
That's tough.
So that's where it is. They were throwing the disc great, better than anyone in the field.
So that tells you they were throwing
Got
the
wrecked.
disc significantly
Well,
better.
Silva was hitting fairways. You got to give her flowers. She was 77% fairway hit, whereas Evelina was only 81 leading the field. But she just
C1 in reg.
it's a C1 in reg. Like Evelina Saarinen had 76% of her holes. She was at circle 2 in regulation, but she was 0% circle 2 putting.
Fairways hit is also kind of whack because par 3s they can just hit the first tree and be in the fairway.
And circle 1x putting, she was 63%. So that's whereas Henna was 52% circle 1x putting. Like that's where it all came down. Like if you look at their average putt distance, Evelina Saarinen's total putting distance for the entire weekend was 563 feet. Silva Saarinen's was 946 feet. So she was just like that stat more so to me tells she was just making longer putt. Like her average putt was 17 feet, whereas Evelina's average putt was 10 feet. Her average putt was basically inside the bullseye.
Right.
Bullseye. Now,
Bullseye.
Evelina did gain 13 strokes on Silva tee to green, but it just doesn't matter when you're losing 16 putting.
Yeah, you just can't do that.
You can't do it.
You just can't.
But you can't. I mean, you got to give the flowers to Silva. She played well, and she made her putts. Like, she was 83% C1X, only missed 5 C1X putts, and 45% on the weekend, circle 2.
That's really
which
good.
is crazy. I think it was mainly this round 2. She went 83% C1X, or circle 2, 5 for 6, with her long putt being 42 feet. Yeah.
Wow, her longest putt was 42 feet, so she was just
She was in that sweet
money,
spot.
that money C2 range. Why is there not more? I think I wonder if anybody has when's the last time somebody won and lost more than 1 stroke to the field putting? Like I feel like that's
Evelina.
So
probably
hard to
both
do.
times she won this year.
But lost over a stroke to the
lost it.
field.
I don't know.
Like
Well, let's actually take a look.
That's how I would be curious to see if she's lost more than 1 stroke
Let's
to the
go
field putting and still
to
won.
her more recent win, Champions Cup, the major. Let's see here. View hole scores.
Stats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go stats. All Evelina, when she won Champions Cup, she lost 2.7 strokes to the field putting.
Okay, well.
But that was Champions Cup.
Yeah, that might be an outlier. That might be an outlier.
Let's look at chess.com.
Putting was not anybody's concern at Champions Cup. Yeah, chess.com would be a better tell. It wouldn't shock me. I'd just be curious. It's crazy that she lost that many strokes at Champions Cup. That tournament was just keeping it in the fairway.
Let's see. View hole scores. And let's go to stats here. Evelina Saarinen, all rounds. She lost 2 strokes in chess.com.
Never mind.
So both times Evelina's done it.
It can absolutely be done.
But she, holy frick, she gained 31.7 strokes tee to green at chess.com. She was gaining over 10 strokes tee to green per round at chess.com.
That's pretty significant.
To win by 5. That's wild. So yeah, if you're gaining 32 strokes tee to green, you can lose 2 on the putting. Yeah, it's fine to lose 2 if you're gaining 32.
This game was never meant to be about putting, man.
That's crazy.
Old school disc golf, just throw it.
Yeah, that legitimately got me choked up. Like that wasn't like I'm sick. Like that was like I saw that, I didn't believe it. That's crazy. Now in MPO, the big story was the incredible final round of Nicklaus with the course record 12 under. Really, the big highlights for me here was he got his back nine started on the front nine with a crazy putt on hole 9. It was like this approach disc, almost a throw, but it was definitely a putt. He like needed it to hyzer around a bunch of trees. If you haven't seen the highlight, you need to go at least look on Twitter.
Darn near. It was probably like 90 feet.
No, it was less than that. It was yeah, because it actually surprised me. It looked really far, but when I looked at it this morning on like his actual, let me go to the scores and tell you what it was. It has it at 72. So never mind. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking of his putt on 14, which was the Anheuser, I believe, was only 42 feet.
Well, that one
looked long.
That one it looked long because he had to go like from actually relationship him to the basket wasn't that far, but he had to go backwards and around something.
Yeah, but that putt kind of got things going here because he threw that and he couldn't even see the basket. It was just a crazy hyzer putt in, and then he just didn't really slow up. He ended up going 10 under through his last 11 holes.
Wow. That round only rated 1043. Is that what I just saw?
Surely not. No, that's the event.
Oh.
That round.
Is it not that one up there next to his
1081. 1081.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, there's no shot. But he was down by, I believe it was 5 going into the back nine. But when he went 10 down through the last 11 holes, he just wore down Maury Villman because he was in control. Like at the front, he was making shots he needed to make. He was throwing the disc well. But as Nicklaus was just doing stuff like that, he just chipped him away. And you saw the lack of experience being in, like he's I believe Maury's won on some bigger stages, but like it's a different story when you're going for your first Elite Series win. And you have Nicklaus chasing you down.
Stranger.
That's a whole different ball game, and you could see his confidence just get chipped away. To by the end, he looked like Rory McIlroy. He was just missing tap-ins. Like hole 18, he had I believe it was like a 15 or 20 footer that would have kept him tied for second. He couldn't win it anymore, but it would have kept him tied for second with James Proctor. And it was the basket kind of threw it out if I'm thinking of the right putt, but it still was a missed putt. And so he looked like a very solid player overall, though. It was good to see him again against a hot Nicklaus, because I think that's where last time we had Jesse Niemanen took it down and Connor discredited his victory. But here when we had Nicklaus, like we've seen Nicklaus win at the Open at Austin, and we saw Nicklaus was hot. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like, oh, well, Nicklaus just kind of chipped around. Like I think he won at 24 under, 25 under, and got 12 under of it in the last round. And you could tell like he got hot. And we know when he got hot, he's been good enough to win in a full Pro Tour event. So, for Maury Villman to even hang in there, because he shot a respectable 4 under the final round. He got to 22 under for the tournament. It just, at the end of the day, when someone gets that hot, if you aren't locked in and he let some things start to slip, it just slipped away from him.
So what are we weighing this Pro Tour out of from 0 to 1? 1 being it's a full legit win. Actually, 0 to 1.5, because I feel like we usually go to 0 to 2. We'll just say like the most significant major win ever is something you would almost count as a double points.
So like a Worlds is like a 2, or USDGC is a 2. A regular Pro Tour is like a 1.
Yeah, chess.com,
1. But then there's some Pro Tours that probably get like 1.5 because it's like a full field.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I don't know about 1.5, maybe like 1.2.
Hey, so on that scale, Trevor, consider this your warning. Don't hit the table
don't hit the desk anymore. On that scale where 2 is like a USDGC top win, I would put this specific Pro Tour 0.6.
0.6. What was, because like what would you have said the last one was?
0.6, 0.5. Because I think when Jesse won, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Nicklaus and them were still there. It's just, here's the thing, right? Let's see if Statmando has their strength. There's a woodpecker next door. Uh-oh. We waited too late in the day. They're about to start drilling through the wall. Let's see if Statmando has their strength of field, because last time we talked about a European event, I want to highlight some things this European event did very well in a second. But last time we did it, we talked about strength of the field strength as if everyone just knew the stat existed and people thought we were just making it up. This is a Statmando, the official stats. They're owned by the PDGA. This is their strength of field is what we were using. So the Turku Open comes in at 13th, which below it, the Copenhagen Open is technically a little below it. But, I mean, to give you a reference, it and the Las Vegas Challenge they're pretty neck and neck. The Turku Open comes in a little bit ahead of Las Vegas Challenge, but it is at a 21.5 strength of field. The next closest Pro Tour was the Dynamic Discs Open at 46.9.
Over double.
So over twice as hard to win statistically. That's not an opinion, that's stats. On paper.
Not an opinion, that's stats.
Now, what is interesting is Champions Cup comes in at 63.2 because of how tight that field is, how it's like invite only and everything. Waco is actually at 72.6. So the hardest Pro Tour to win this year statistically was Waco at 72.6.
Does that mean ratings are inflated in Texas?
21.5.
All Texas. Wasn't that one guy from Texas that got 1038 rated and never played again?
Something like that, yeah.
Ratings are easy in
But
Texas.
anyways, so that's the strength. So you got to take this on the chin. Like, you got to, at the end of the season, will Niklas currently, as we sit, does he have 2 Elite Series wins? Yes. Is he equal with Calvin Heimberg? No. Because you do have to factor strength of field. And, this is statistically an easier win. Sure. He can't change anything about it. He showed up. He played the course. He shot an incredible final round. Would he have beat Calvin Heimberg if he was there? Maybe. But there's no way to know. And that's the whole problem is you got to take something away because there's no way to know. He can't control who showed up and who didn't, but that still means they didn't show up. So it's still if you read this field, like I said, you have Niklas, you have James Proctor, and then if you go to other players down here, you have a Jakub Simmerod. I know that Laurie Lettinen, I know he's played some over here. You had Vino Makala was over there. There's guys that we've seen come over to the States, and they were getting beat. Vino came in 29th. Eric Oakley, like I said, came in 29th. So, there's guys we've seen over here get beat. So, it's not like the field was just, no one we've ever heard of. Silver Lot, we've seen him. So, you've seen these guys, but we don't have that much to compare it to. Is at the end of the day, that's the tough part. And when guys do go over there, when you have Niklas over here, he won. When James Proctor's over here, second. So, and James Proctor hasn't had that great of a season in the U.S. So you also have to factor things like that. And his other best finish on the Pro Tour was 12th at Jonesboro. Everything outside of that's been outside the top 20 this season so far. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is. But there's nothing the player can do about it. It's just when we are digesting these stats, you have to factor that in. With it being said, loved the course. It looked awesome. It looked very professional, very put together. And I was trying to put my finger on it because every time they go to Europe, it's not necessarily the landscape that makes courses feel this way, because the landscape, it definitely is different than the U.S. But we have plenty of beautiful parks over here that we play on and stuff.
I think it's just because they have giant parks that have nothing else in them.
No, here's what I've landed on, okay, is the professionalism of the grounds is how I'm going to word it. But their OB is all consistently marked with the stakes. You could see it very clearly. Just outside of OB, a lot of times was taller grass. So visually, there was no question. It was very easy to tell what's OB and what's not. And the placement of advertising, I think it's solely because there was less advertising at this event, way more tasteful. The advertising was by the tee and stuff. It was placed in the branding of the event. The white and blue branding of the event just felt everywhere. Everything was pretty much white and blue except for the Zuka flags and stuff. But when you got to the OB, there wasn't those giant walls lining the OB and stuff like that. The course just looked more naturally beautiful because I think with there being less advertising, it just allowed the natural beauty of the course to shine through more. And there was still crowds out there. They still had fence and stuff, but you didn't have, there wasn't just a bunch of different loud artwork trying to grab your attention everywhere. It was just, you were just welcomed into the beauty of the course.
Yeah, it was I believe it was Champions Cup that was finally doing some advertisement had integrated color schemes, because we mentioned before, if you go to the PGA Tour events, if Foundation were to advertise at a PGA Tour event and our colors are black and gold, it doesn't matter. They're going to make our logo and text say whatever, but it's going to be in the color scheme of the event, or it's going to blend in.
It's at least going to be white on
They were doing green and white to make everything kind of blend into the grandstands, and it may make you a little less visible, but they're not willing to sacrifice the the look of the event and the style of the event for, the whatever graffiti you want to throw on a wall. So
that was just Silas. That wasn't even construction.
Oh, dude.
Silas selected something violent for lunch back there. But I think that the
Silas, dude.
Silas, man. That's construction. We're just all over the place right now. The course, like, I understand the Pro Tour has to monetize, right? And so I don't really, it's a catch-22, I think, because, like, I think part of the reason the natural beauty comes through so much at a course like this is because there's not enough advertising. It just lets it come through. Now, there's some parks that, like, in the U.S., there is no natural beauty to let come through. Like, that's fair. We play some places that are just like, it is what it is. But some places, like, if we just let it do its thing, is very beautiful. It just gets commercialized by the banners lining every hole, by, like, the feather banners. There's many places we can put them. And, like, they're trying to monetize every inch of the course, which then dilutes all of it and makes it less effective.
It's a weird balance.
I don't know. That was just something I thought of, because even the baskets were all white with a blue flag. Like, everything, there was just, it felt, you could feel an attention to detail out there that you just don't feel a lot of times. And it's probably just because the team running that, this was a big stage versus the teams running the U.S. events are like, they're doing this every week. There's just a different feel. So, like, I think there's a lot of reasons for it, but that was what was, like, screaming through the screen at me, was just like, it felt very much like there was a lot of pride in this event.
I think a great thing that could come out of the European swing of the tour, because I've always said that there's nothing you can do about it, but, like, their park properties they play on are usually much better than ours. They just seem to have just, like, it. I mean, it's like, just to use an example, it's like if we had just a ready availability of, like, national park quality properties.
Yeah. Like,
that's what you get over there. They just have more access to them, I guess. But I mean, one of the great things that could come out of the European tour is, if like visually they are just taking it more serious at running those events and doing a better job and whatever it might be, then that'll eventually catch on and people will be like, hey, we need to start doing certain things this way because they're making us look bad. Like, it's always good to have somebody pushing the standard, because there's no doubt that anytime there's ever been an event, I've never seen a, like, professional level event in Europe that wasn't run, like, really well and everything looked really nice and in place. It does seem like there's this extra level of care.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I really liked was the commentary. I thought was great.
Yeah, they're always good.
I was trying to put my finger on it, and I landed on two things. One, they just talked about the golf. There wasn't a lot of, I remember when I blah, 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 blah. Like, there wasn't a lot of excess talking, which some people are going to dislike, some people are going to like. I enjoyed it. Like, it was just, they were locked in and focused on the golf, and you could tell they were trying, both of them were trying very hard to be professional in what they were doing, which I think added to the professionalism that was going on. Because, granted, I was watching the U.S. Open, and typically if you're watching a professional golf event and you're locked in, and then you turn on disc golf, it just, like, screams all of the stuff that disc golf does differently at you, because you just hear, like, the U.S. Open obviously was like a top-end broadcast for golf, and, like, it was very well done, very professional, obviously. They said that I think NBC or whoever was covering it had a bigger team covering the U.S. Open than they do the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Wow. But anyways, but when I was watching disc golf, I didn't feel that jarring. Like, it felt like a lower budget, because duh, I mean, we're talking millions of dollars lower, but it didn't feel nearly as jarring. And I was trying, again, just think through what is different. And the one thing that came through was the commentators were trying to hold themselves very professional. They didn't do a lot of joking around. They didn't do a lot of straying from what we're seeing. And the second thing, I think this was even the bigger thing, I don't know how to put this, but it felt like they genuinely cared. Like, it felt like when they got excited, they were actually excited, not trying to act excited.
Yeah.
And, like, they let
the one thing you can't fake is a commentator.
They let their feelings come through. Like, when someone threw a bad shot, they just were willing to just be upset. Like, be like, oh, no. You know what I mean?
think they're just, I think that, like, sometimes the European commentators are more blunt.
Yeah, like, that might be it, too.
They tell it how it is sometimes.
But then, like, there were some shots that, like, I watched, and to the viewer at home, it didn't feel like that crazy of a shot, but the commentary's mind was blown, and that made my mind get blown by it.
Yeah.
Like, it was similar to Bryson going over to U.S. Open. Bryson getting up and down on that last hole, it was hard to relay how difficult that shot was through the camera, right? But when you had, or it might have been earlier, you had Bones, who was like one of the all-time great caddies, saying that it was a top 10 up and down of all time. That like speaks to you at home of like, holy cow, that was a crazy shot.
Sometimes with golf,
it like gives you context.
Right.
That's kind of what I was feeling over there, because I had no reference for this course. I think this was even a newer layout. I hadn't watched the Turku Open previously, but I think this was even a new layout to them. But I had no reference for how hard some stuff was. You couldn't tell how uphill and stuff. But someone would throw a shot, and the commentary team mind would get blown, and not like a fake mind blowing. Like it felt very like, this guy genuinely can't believe what he just saw this player do. And it made me go, holy crap, I can't believe he just did that. And then I like sat back, I'm like, Hunter, you have no idea. That could have been a 100-foot shot. You don't know. No, but like I felt it. I got excited because the commentary team, you could feel it in their bones. They were genuinely blown away by what they were watching.
That's an important role to add context, because especially, and disc golf is similar to golf, and where sometimes things that look routine are difficult. And I think, like, for instance, one of the things that I always like is when somebody throws a really good drive on a hole and you hear a commentator say, like, I haven't seen a drive land that far all day, or like, I don't know if I've ever seen a drive get to that spot. Like, say things like that to really reinforce how good of a shot something was, so that you can appreciate it. Because sometimes, it's a game of landing in the middle of fairways. So sometimes you need a little bit of help to like understand the difficulty of the shot, or set it up, before the shot even happens. Talk about how difficult it's going to be, what has to be avoided. Give us context so that if the shot is executed, we're already expecting it to be super difficult. And that's part of the role.
That was one thing they did too, is before, I forget what hole it was on, but there was a certain hole that had like a sweet spot for where to land. And they were talking about that pre-drive of like, this is the sweet spot area. Yeah. And then Nicklaus threw it about 60 feet or 100 feet. They were talking in meters, which made me just kind of, a lot of math was going on in my head. But he threw it well past the sweet spot. And so once it sailed over the sweet spot, they were able to provide that context, because they had already laid the groundwork of like, this is where players are trying to get during the flyover. And then when he sailed through it, they had this like, oh my word, and that's like 60 feet past the sweet spot. I've never seen a drive get there. And again, instantly my appreciation for what Nicklaus just did went through the roof, and I'm like, this dude's on fire. This dude's going off. I had no reason to know that. It looked like a pretty routine shot for him, but it's just like, I now had context for how good it was. I don't know. Really enjoyed it. Just some thoughts. Now, speaking of the U.S. Open.
We're pro Europe.
Speaking of the U.S. Open, I did notice, because Brody had brought this up during debate night, and I had never paid attention to it because their commentary on golf just flows so well. And he was talking about, because I had brought up how when Ian threw it to Perkins back at Beaver State, it was like always jarring, and poor Perkins always sounded out of breath, and like he didn't know who he was about to get thrown to, and it just like broke everything up. And Dustin, who was a commentator, he was like, well, what sport do they like? So many sports, like, they don't use the on-the-ground commentary team to do commentary. And Brody goes, they do in golf. And I was like, interesting. So I just paid attention a lot.
They have a ton of them usually.
I paid attention a lot this weekend, and how they were using it at the U.S. Open was basically every important shot, because Rory and Bryson were the two that coming down the stretch, they were the ones that you were seeing every shot. But there's also like Patrick Cantley was in there too, but really Rory and Bryson, you needed context for every shot, and they would just let the on-the-ground guy take over the commentary. So they would be like if Trevor was my on-the-ground guy, they would be like, and now Rory's on the 16th. Trevor, what do you see? Yeah. And then Trevor would take over and be like, yeah, he's got a 7-iron, and it's going blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of, tailwind. I think he's going to try to land this short and let it roll onto the green.
This ball's on a really good line, headed right at the pin.
And then as soon as he hit it, they'd be like, oh, he's not happy. And they were giving you context that I couldn't see. They're like, Rory's not happy with it. It looks okay, but I think it's just going to roll off the back edge of the green. It looks like he kind of hit it too thin. And then that was all on the ground. And then it came back to the booth for the booth to be like, bring you back into that world and jump. Booth was almost handling transition.
It's almost like an alley-oop. If you notice, the booth really takes over before the shot, and then well before the shot, and then when the ball is on the green. So like if a great shot is hit, let's say Jim Nance is the main guy, and he's got David Faraday on the ground or whatever, because a lot of times they have like teams of like 6 of them, and they'll be like, so and so's on holes 10, 11, and 12. And yeah, they'll pick it up. This ball's on a really good line. It's headed right for the pin, and they kind of leave it there. And when it lands, Jim Nance takes back over. Wow, what a shot! that is gonna he's gonna be putting for birdie, and then obviously on the putts they're kind of taking that over. They'll maybe get the read from another guy, but you're right. They let him take the wheel because they understand that guy's standing right there. A golf ball is really hard to track.
Yeah.
And even with all the Pro Tracer they have now, you can never get the best idea, especially on approaches towards the green, until hearing those commentators talk you through the shot is the best way to get it across.
Well, because imagine just to
it's
bring
a really
it
good system.
To bring it to disc golf, right? Imagine we're okay, Paul's on the tee on 17. Connor, you're down there. What are you seeing? And Connor's like, look, he's been going fairway driver all week, but we have a ripping tailwind. He actually disked down to a buzz right now, but everyone else stayed with their shot. It's going to be very interesting to see. Yeah, okay, it looks like it's flying great. The tailwind's definitely carrying it. It looks like it's going to cover the OB. That should be in a great spot.
Yeah.
Versus the commentary team in the booth,
they see
what we see.
Right.
So they're guessing just as much as you're guessing at home. Now they can know the course and give more context, but when you're on the ground, you can just see so much more.
Some of the best commentary we got, man, was Terry Miller in that backpack doing the live smash.
Because especially when the camera cuts and it's following the disc, the guy on the ground can be like, oh, Paul's ticked. As it's mid-flight, oh, Paul's ticked. It looks like that might have came out a little early. It looks like he's getting lucky. He has no idea where that's going to end up. That's so much more context than we get right now.
In the booth, they have to react anyways, so you might as well let somebody else talk through the shot and then react when you're supposed to. They're really only meant those guys in the booth, they're in that sport, they're really exclamation points.
Yeah, and
the way they're doing it now.
It felt like they kind of handled the transition to make sure it's
so smooth you don't notice it until you listen.
I had never paid attention until Brody said that, and then this week I was I just noticed they basically had I think Smiley was with Bryson and Bones was with Rory's group. They were doing 80% of the commentary. It felt like they were just throwing it to them, and they had already read the putt beforehand, and they're like, yeah, this one's gonna break really. Bryson, I don't know if he's giving this enough credit where he's lined up. I had it 2 feet left to where he's aiming, blah blah.
And here's another key thing.
Oh, he's gonna miss this inside.
Another key thing to mention is because they mic everything up so well. There's a mics all over the greens, all over the tee box, near the caddies. The commentators in the booth do not feel like they have to feel dead space. I mean, it goes dead silent some of the times on the Pro Tour. Well, I would say on the Pro Tour.
on golf.
Yeah, on the Pro Tour mix, sometimes when they stop talking, it just gets a little too quiet because they don't have enough audio to fill. But on golf, they know if I let this sit, I'm going to catch something the caddy's saying to his player or whatever it might be, and it works out great.
Yeah. Now, obviously, miking the course, we're not there yet.
No.
But we do have the on-the-ground guys. I just think we're misusing them, is what I learned this weekend. Because even the way the European commentary team, I don't think they had someone on the ground. They might have, I don't remember. But the way the European guys were talking, they were doing a very good job of picking up when I think it was...
Yeah, it helps when they know the course better.
Mari Villman, I think on hole 13 or 14, one of them where it was if you attacked the green, it could get very dicey. He disked back to a mid-range. And they were able to provide that context of it's very interesting. He has not gone mid-range all week, but he's going mid-range in this situation, just trying to make sure he gets a 3. And then when it came out his hand, they instantly picked up that doesn't have enough power. This could get really dicey for him. And then he got lucky through the trees. And they were doing a really good job of that. I don't know. Just something I noticed. We interrupt this episode to bring you breaking news.
Beep, 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 beep.
This episode was already recorded. It was exported. It was about to be posted. And then we just got hit with the grip lock curse that we avoided
can't beat us,
by
Kevin.
about 30 minutes.
We beat the curse.
Kevin Jones, KFJUSA on Instagram, made a post out of the blue. Mind you, it is June right now, and he said, goodbye, Prodigy.
He said, I'm out of the green.
He said, goodbye, Prodigy. It's been a fun 5.5 years. If you picked up a reverb, distortion, or feedback to support me, I want to give you a huge thank you. Your support is huge. In the meantime, my website is going to be 60% off all discs when you use code blah, blah, blah. You're gonna do some work if you can find the code. This isn't an
Come
ad
on,
read.
give him the code.
It's not an ad read here.
You got that far.
24 KJ. If you can decipher that, best of luck.
Good luck.
See if there's anything you like. Exciting news coming soon, though. Website link in bio. So
did Prodigy post?
That's actually a great question,
check
Trev.
that. We're really gut wrenching here.
No, this literally he just posted this. No post from Prodigy yet at all. Did they share it to this story?
He said exciting news coming.
Exciting news coming, which in disc golf means one or two things. There either is exciting news coming, or that means
it's likely not exciting. Someone
please reach out. I'm unsponsored.
Let's do something a drama podcast would do.
Well, let's remind everyone first here. Okay. He signed a 4-year extension with Prodigy. It was announced December 30th, 2021.
It hasn't been 4 years.
If you do your math, that would be through the end of next season.
I think that is a meaning. Let's all play what's going to happen next. You guys, I'm going to guess first. I'm going to take my guess.
Exciting news coming soon.
My guess is he is quitting disc golf.
I was about to say, I think he's out of disc golf.
Pursuing DJing full time.
I think he's done with disc golf. That's what
I would have to agree.
I think he's done with disc golf as well.
He
okay, so my thought was not original.
No, yeah, because
you said it first.
Well, I think he's going to go be a potato farmer.
Oh,
now I said something.
Yeah, actually, I do think he's going to be a potato farmer.
Dang. Well, because let's look at his season so far. He went 44th at chess.com, 52nd at Waco, 24th the Open at Austin, 78th at Texas States,
that's 51st not something
at Jonesboro, 20th at Music City, 60th at Champions Cup, 68th at DDO, 41st at OTB, 78th at Portland, 34th at Beaver State.
Now, I'll just say, like, gut reaction to what you just said, that doesn't sound like a guy who's about to announce exciting news in disc golf.
No, so Kevin Jones has always been like the guy who has like the most untapped potential. Like you just feel like he should be a top 10 guy, and then he just isn't.
Mm-hmm.
KJ USA.
So what's going on? I don't know.
I'm tell my grandkids about the KJ USA fall off, man.
Here's the thing: is I don't see him going to another company mid-season, mainly because he has the distortion, he has the reverb. The feedback, like he has molds that were built specifically with
gets
him.
In the mud with their players a little bit. I could see there being like differences, for sure, and him like them figuring out a way for him to now. What's really gonna be beautiful, is if we get if he posts that and we get it tomorrow, a little discgolf.law video, and it's Prodigy is suing Kevin Jones for breach of contract. Could you imagine if it's another one?
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes!
No, it's.
Let's say this, if he's still in disc golf,
where does he go?
And he actually goes somewhere. It's like his name is still worth something. Like especially to a smaller company. Where does he go?
He's back to Pro
DGA.
Pro Discus.
I think he was getting paid pretty well because when he signed that contract, like he was.
No, it's a weird one.
When he signed that contract, he was in a much better spot in disc golf than he is today.
Yeah.
So also, note the date of him signing the contract extension.
2021.
There was money.
There was a lot of money in disc golf.
Money was flowing. Bread and honey.
They probably thought by now he'd be a world champ.
I had even heard like
universe champ.
There was always rumors and speculation of like part of the reason Dickerson left was because they chose Kevin Jones over him. Like they chose KJ as their guy.
How about
so? Like, if that's the truth, then they paid him well, and he's like a little over halfway into his contract.
Yeah,
like he still has a year and a half on that thing.
Brother,
he's not just walking to another disc golf company unless Prodigy's the one giving him the boot. Unless it's a flip flop.
We are going.
But they can't. I feel like it's even more legally sketchy for them to breach the contract than for him.
I need to start.
But apparently, contracts don't mean anything in disc golf. So
I don't know. Yeah, man, but even a mid-season retirement from disc golf?
Yeah.
It all is fascinating. Let us know in the comments what you think's about to happen. Prodigy didn't post, which could mean one of two things. Either they didn't know it was coming, or they have something else planned. Because a lot of times they'll see like a collab post type thing. But I don't know. If he does go somewhere in disc golf,
I like DGA.
I like DGA.
Dirty Mint.
I was thinking
Dirty
Mint, but I just thought it could be Infinite. It could, who's he tight with? Who's
his boys? Well, you saw Gateway, or you saw not Gateway. You saw Drew Gibson with the like.
That's true.
With the emoji.
What
post.
Did he hit a gravestone fly? I think that's even a bigger thing of like he's done with disc golf. No,
I think it was just what was it? What was the emoji?
Drew Gibson hit him with the gravestone and a like bird flying away.
R.I.P. and the dove. Dude, what could that mean?
I think that's a like
gravestone and a dove.
Like his career's done. Well, we know who to text.
Shmoo Gishman.
Because everything else, like no one. OTB said next chapter, let's go.
Who wants to do it? Who wants to send the text?
The OTBs aligns more with he is staying in disc golf. The next chapter, let's go flex emoji.
Wait, who said that?
OTB, who is on Team OTB.
Yeah, okay, that's they would probably say that if he was DJing too.
But he could go. He could just go open bag. Maybe he's just done with.
I'm promising you for free. If you got him throwing jokeries again, watch out.
But if he's got like a guaranteed paycheck from Prodigy, why would he switch to open bag right now? Because it's not like.
And if Prodigy was the one telling him.
What if he was one of those guys that's like he really blames the discs?
Maybe there was
or maybe he's really planning on starting to play better.
Oh, I'm saying maybe there was a performance.
Like
clause.
He's like next week I'm gonna play better.
Yeah.
Like maybe he couldn't.
Oh.
Maybe there was some type of performance clause in the contract.
Or like if you're outside the top 50 in the world rankings, which would never happen, Kev, then we have to terminate your contract.
Someone did comment and say lawsuit coming in 3, 2.
Well, here's the thing. He's not going to smush them yet because he's still trying to move his plastic. So you got to wait till the dust settles before he says anything if he was unhappy.
His discs do feel pretty good.
Yeah, can we just get a shout out to Foundation? Should we put our stuff on sale?
Should we put the reverb stuff on sale?
Overcut.
No, let's wait because
our sale
we
better.
might find out tomorrow that he's like, never mind, I'm not leaving because I can't afford to go to jail.
Jail.
He's getting sued.
Oh. I can't afford to get to jail.
So his previous posts, so he posted on June. His posts so far this year are like June 3rd. Even with the way I'm playing disc golf, I can appreciate how amazing my life is. And then the next post was round 2 Beaver State Fling, middle of the pack after the first round, hoping I can score big today and get in the hunt. And then boom, I'm leaving Prodigy. I don't know, fascinating stuff. So we'll keep you updated. If there's another breaking news situation, we'll have a reaction video live on our channel to like bring that back. If not, hopefully some news will break this week and we'll get it to you next week.
If Kevin Jones pursues DJing full time in our support, I think we need to get him to make us a little like intro tune.
Okay.
We need to contract Kevin Jones to make our intro tune for something, man.
All right. So if that happens, that'll happen. But comment down below, where do you think Kevin Jones is going? What do you think about this whole situation? And
Club Aqua.
Let's jump back into wherever we are in the episode right now. I don't have the Manufacturer's Cup update, so we'll just have to update the Manufacturer Cup after next week. We'll just come back on Monday. But we're going to throw it into Trevor's Trivia. Before we do that, I want to let you know about our subscription box. You might not know this, but Foundation Disc Golf has a subscription box, and they're not just a way for us to dump old inventory on you like you might find from some other people. Each month, we are designing custom stamps, placing specific orders with manufacturers, and curating the box to a specific theme to make sure you get way more out of the box than what you can pay. What do you pay? You might ask. $45, and you get 3 premium discs plus a swag item each and every month. And this month, in my opinion, is probably our most coherent and ambitious theme yet. People are getting their hands on it, and the reviews are already great. People are posting what they're doing with this box all over the place. You might have seen it. It's a very exciting box. If you want to learn more information, you can check the link in the description down below, and I'll take you to a landing page where you can learn all about the subscription box, how often it ships, all that stuff. And if you want to try to type it in, it's foundationdisc.com/pages/subscription-box. Take my word for it. Just look in the show notes. Way easier to do that. And if you get in before the end of June, you'll get that box I'm talking to you about right now, one of our most ambitious subscription boxes yet. You're not going to miss out on it. Check it out over there. Time for the fan favorite segment, Trevor's Trivia. What do you got this week?
All right, so I did this game with Connor, and so I wanted to do it with you and see if you can, how far you can get.
Oh, yeah.
So
I didn't do great.
Connor and I
started out really well.
Attempted I got to update people. I'm glad we're here. We did a spore quiz last week for Trevor's Trivia in honor of Trevor. Actually, I said in memory of Trevor.
Yeah.
But we couldn't figure out, it was 2021 Disc Golf Pros bags. You had to guess the molds in it. We couldn't figure out. Paul, we were missing a fairway driver, and Adam Hams, we were missing a mid. And I let the time go so that they would fill it for us because we did 5 minutes. It was a 10-minute thing. And I said, I'll come back to it. Never came back.
Yeah.
Opened my laptop. It was still on it.
Okay.
The fairway driver for Paul.
Let me guess what you missed.
We missed 1 fairway driver for Paul, 1 mid-range for Adam Hams.
And they were a true fairway and a true mid?
Yep, from 2021 bag.
Okay. Paul fairway. You missed the heat?
No.
Okay.
Ham is mid.
He throws some weird stuff from time to time. Well, I assume you guessed the Wasp.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he throw a drone?
No. Well, I don't know. He might have. We guessed whatever he
Okay.
threw. But the two we missed was Paul's tracker.
Oh, what
that.
the frick?
Yeah.
I
He had that
forgot about
tracker in there
that.
well. And Hamas threw a Malta.
Malta, yeah.
Malta. Completely forgot about
Well,
that.
once we said Wasp, mine
Yeah.
didn't go to Malta.
Yeah, why
because
would
it's
you
just
throw
like
both of
it's
them?
like a worse.
Oh,
there you go.
Maybe that's
So I saw some comments about like you're just gonna leave us on a cliffhanger. You never came back. So there you go.
That's
Dang.
fine.
Tracker Malta.
Dang.
So this is how this game works. Basically, you are going to be naming PDJ approved discs. And
This is a
you're going
fun
to be
game.
you're trying to name as many discs as possible. That's the goal. But each time you name a disc, it has to be more recently approved than the one before it.
Okay.
So that's literally the only premise of the game. I will go as specific as the day if I need to. So you want to start with naming the oldest disc you can think of, and then try to space it as close to together as possible. But as soon as you mess up, you lose.
Okay.
So you're trying to go as big as.
So I'll start with the Innova Aero.
Okay.
That's exactly what I did.
Nice.
Yeah, Connor's first few were really good. So
I did really good on the first few.
So you're starting.
That was it.
That's one, and you're starting at June 1st, 1983.
Okay. We will then move on to the. Oh boy, now I'm stuck. Go ahead and
This is where it
give.
gets tough.
Go ahead and give me the Gateway Wizard.
Okay, it's gonna be a significant jump.
It will.
Like early 2000s.
That's gonna take you to January 9th, 2002.
Told you.
What was Gateway's first
That's what I'm
flagship
telling you.
disc?
The Wizard's not as old as you think.
So now
Because
we're
Gateway had a disc in the like late 80s, early 90s.
I thought so.
maybe.
We're going to have to look that up after. I mean, obviously it's not the Wizard, but I'm just wondering, what did they start with?
Yeah.
then? All right, 2002. Well, now I'm home. Now I feel better. Now I feel more comfortable about where I'm going. We just had the 20-year buzzes, so let's go with the Discraft Buzz.
Smart, Hunt.
The Discraft Buzz. By the way, the oldest Gateway disc, I had it here, is the 844 Saber, 1998. They also did they had a bunch of discs in 99.
Why do I think they started in the 80s?
Did not.
I don't know.
Did
Okay.
McCormick have a different company before Gateway?
So we're going with the Buzz.
The Buzz, yeah,
for
give me
number
the Buzz.
3. Let's see. I mean, yeah, we should pretty much know this one because we did just have the 20-year buzzes. 03. September 30th, 03. So you're up to 3 discs. That
How
was a
far
good
did
one
Connor
there.
get in?
Probably about here.
Okay.
I guessed a disc that like
I forget what you jumped to, but it like all of a sudden.
we'll talk about it in a second.
So we're at 2003 now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a tough run right here. Because what would come after?
These are the crucial ones. This can really decide it for you. Like,
Prodigy is going to be way too recent. Dynamic Discs just started having their 10-year stuff. So they're too recent as well. So we got to hit. Oh, I mean, I think I got to go with the Innova with some stuff that was coming out around then. Because Discraft, I just don't know the order of everything.
Yeah, it would make you wonder why someone would choose to keep guessing Discraft.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right.
Because that's what I did. I was stuck in Discraft. I don't know why.
Discraft, the problem with Discraft is like I can't remember like if I can go like the Thrasher. And I know I'm gonna be in the 2012s, 2014 range, but like why the frick would I do that?
Because then once you're at 2012, you can get a bunch of discs in a row.
That is true.
I should have just got there. That's what, because I kept on trying to sneaky stay around early 2000s.
You're giving me too much strategy.
No, it's okay.
I think I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that.
Okay.
Because that is a great idea.
I'll take it back.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go with the Rock 3.
That is a
3?
That is the
Why
most,
didn't you-
that is a
why didn't you go
crazy
Rock?
Guess. Well, what do you,
Rock. I'm in
what?
2003.
Oh, gotcha. You're right.
Why did it not pop up? I need to go. How do I need to search this?
Because I think the Rock 3 that'll probably put me in like 2010s.
That puts you. That's interesting. The Rock 3's approval date is 2017, but that doesn't make any sense. No, this doesn't make any sense because it hasn't been.
Did it got reapproved? Maybe.
If you search Rock, or did they not get it, or it's just the Rock mold? Maybe
they just started calling it Rock 3.
So
Well, it's just it's not a different mold, I guess.
But there's the Rock 3 started like they were manufacturing. Is that when the Rock 3 got flippy?
Because if it's not
Dude,
technically...
because it's right around the time of like the 4 times.
Well, no, because Paul was a 4-time in 2015.
So here, because obviously if the Rock got approved, the V-Rock gets approved in 2014, still after the first Rock 3s came out. Then you have the Rock X3 in February of 2017 and the Rock 3 in August of 2017.
Come on. The Rock X3 came out before the Rock 3?
Maybe the Rock 3 wasn't actually a different mold
I'm at 2017
until
now.
2017.
I'm in 2017
Yeah, you're
now.
at 2017.
We're gonna have to research that history because something's wonky there.
That is very interesting.
Okay, I'm at 2017 now. Okay, well now we're getting interesting. Okay, let's go with Discraft Luna.
They just had an illegal disc all this time. Luna, December 2018.
Okay.
I think you're like
December 2018. When did Paul? Oh, because he signed in January 2018. Okay, December 2018. I'm going away from the PM line because I don't know the order of the Zeus and Hades and all that stuff. That's terrifying.
You could sit in that though.
Well, but I
go boom, boom, boom.
Well, I can get to like modern day, but like Zeus and Onyx, I can't because like I know the Hades is post 2019.
Which one came out after the Luna.
But I think they were approved really close.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, so I don't want to get
true. It's not a release date. It's
it's approval date. So you know what? I'm going to jump to the Hades because that would have been approved. It was actually I think approved pre his 2019 win because he had the name for it already. But it should be post Luna.
Okay, let's see Hades. Well, because also it'd be tricky because technically the Zeus wasn't the Zeus.
That's true. It was the Kong.
The Hades was March 5th, 2020.
Wow. Okay.
You're still alive though.
Still alive. I got 4 years.
Yeah.
You can really get month by month though
to run through stuff. But no, it's approval date because stuff like the freaking MVP. What is their thing? The Beam has been approved for almost a decade or something crazy and hasn't come out yet. The Beam with their Gyro X.
That's true.
Gyro X.
So I'm not guessing that one.
So we're at
2020.
March of 2020.
When would the Passion surely was already approved by 2020?
Surely.
Well, no, because she went Fierce first, and she signed after Paul, right? They didn't both sign in 2018, did they?
I think they did sign at the same time.
They might have signed at the same time. Okay. Lock back in.
Locking.
Well, think about it. This was.
I think he's thinking.
This is
about
my
it,
first summer at Foundation. Paul's garage. What are we unboxing?
Interesting choice to help
him. It's approved
Trevor.
though. It's approval date. That doesn't help me
because he might. Yeah, we're still neck and neck right now, Trevor.
Release date doesn't matter. It's approval.
Yeah,
date.
but it helps, doesn't it?
It helps, but you gotta. I mean, when we're getting this,
there's not too many Beam X's out there in the world.
Oh.
Does Wasp 3?
No, I think I got to go to the new Discmania at some point soon.
Okay.
Because they had to reapprove their molds.
Brother. That was in 2022, I think.
That's not that far from 2020.
Sure isn't. 2 years.
Okay.
Find it. Choose a company. Choose a company that just like came out at
like
that time.
Mint.
Oh.
But like I don't know when they came out.
Dirty Mint.
Well, if they were established.
Just do it. Just
No. MD3 Discmania.
No, you're playing it safe, dude. That's gonna be way after.
Well,
or way before.
Okay.
No, not really.
Wait,
July
what if it's the original?
See?
Why? Wait,
See?
why wouldn't it be the original MD3?
Because that's the old mold.
Oh, it's not non-existent anymore?
That's now the Metal Warrior, but I don't know if they got the Metal Warrior reapproved. I don't know what happened there. They got the Rock 3 reapproved, but
so
Innova plays by their own rules.
Wait, but why, if you look up MD3, does it not show the original MD3?
It shows up
they both.
Well,
they redid it.
Well, I'm using Hunter's context to,
Yeah,
I
they
know which one he
redid the
wanted.
MD3.
I know which one he wanted.
Okay, so now we're in 2021.
You little snake, dude. You're trying to win again.
You dirty biscuit.
I already lost. I'm just trying to figure out. It's for the spirit of the game, man.
2021.
Carr just trying to uphold the integrity of our beautiful game.
Yeah, that's how I work.
Whatever, guys.
What are you whatever guysing?
I want the Innova J.
You really
J.
want one?
I want the J.
I'm J.
You want a J?
I want the J.
You can go get one.
Pete
but
may convince me I need a J.
That's interesting. So the original J, apparently there's been two. There's a new one. They both came out like right around each other. But the J came out September 5th, 2022.
All right. I missed the Malta. Dang it.
You stinker.
That was the other one I would have known. Okay, so we're in 2022 now. So now we're talking like
we're at the
last
end
year.
of 2022.
Last year.
September 5th.
Okay,
2022.
okay. Give me
You can have it.
the
Riveting.
I'm gonna go into the royal line now.
He's gonna go with the
Are you?
rivet.
I want the original
that's a
part of
good
the royal
idea.
line
Which
because they
was-
like just started that.
Oh, so you want like the grace?
That's what I'm trying to think of. Do I want to go like the hope?
Oh, Trevor, seriously.
I can't remember what was like coming out first.
I am just gonna try and like.
I don't remember you helping me.
I'm gonna go with the hope. Give me the hope. I want hope.
Just so you know, Connor guessed Hornet on like his second or third guess and jumped like a decade.
Yeah, because what
The hope.
I really like. I didn't think.
I
exact,
also didn't think it was that far.
I really felt like the Hornet came out before the Buzz. I thought the
Hope-
Hornet
the
was
Hope
an
was
older
approved.
disc.
I think the Wasp came
October
out.
25th of 2021. You lose.
Dang, Hunt, that sucks, man. You got classic
Why
Hornet.
man, that came out 3 years.
got
Or is
Horneted.
that like when did they release the hope? Has that been out 3 years
It
ago?
was like it was a while ago because it took us a while to get from the putters to the premium stuff.
Okay, we gotta figure out this Rock 3 thing.
How are you gonna find finding history related to Innova? I swear they burned it all. Like it's tough, man. Somebody needs to come out with an Innova historian website and just like try to get to the bottom of it all.
Innova 3 series. Okay. Innova wanted to create a signature rock for Paul Macbeth, and since this was the third variation of the Rancho Cucamonga rock, it was named the RC3. Apparently, the simple moniker stuck as it went for Rock 3 as the new name. But that wouldn't allude to why was the Rock 3 Innova approval history.
Was it actually a new mold, or was it just they came out?
Well, so what I'm gonna do is make
Okay,
sure.
here's a Reddit thread. I'm hoping someone will be able to give me some insight. I've been playing for 3.5 years. The Rock 3 is my favorite disc, blah, blah, blah. I went to the PDJ site. Approval date is 2017. It was approved.
Oh, somebody's got
However, based on the Innova announcement, it sounds like it was on 2012. Believe that Rock 3 were released. It was considered a variant of the Rock mold and didn't require separate approval. If you look at the approvals of all three molds were approved in 2017. I'm assuming the PDJ changed their stance on these being variants of the original mold, but I don't know that for sure. Something similar happened when Innova released their CE plastic. So that's why the V-Rock and everything was approved around the same time, is they were all variations of the Rock mold, so they didn't have to get approved, and then something changed that made them have to get approved.
That makes heck of sense.
So that's why they all got approved in 2017.
I don't like the V-Rock. I don't like it.
No, the V-Rock was
Why is
not
the
great.
V-Rock?
I used to bag one in college.
It was like straighter, wasn't it, than a Rock?
Yeah, I had a DX one. It was like a dead straight disc. It's fine.
All right, we got to give some shout-outs here because the PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships went down.
The Masters of Disc Golf.
It's exciting because like if we look at some of these players, you'll definitely recognize a lot of these names. We had Joe Revere took down the MP
by
14.
I recognize that
by
name.
14.
Why is he not playing on
He's dirty.
tour?
He's disgusting.
Do we have to refer to him as Master
He
Joe
is
now?
1036 rated, which would put him way up there in the highest rated.
Dude
in the world.
must just like his life and enjoy dominating like local scene disc golf because like he could totally be playing.
But this
on tour.
field had Eric McCabe in it, Cale LaVisca, Dutch Napier. Remember him?
Josh
All the
Anton,
Batman
remember
stuff.
him?
Yep.
David Feldberg?
Dana Vici, Dave Feldberg, Dixon Jowers,
Wait.
Paul Oman,
Wait,
Pete
Paul
Ulibarri.
Oman's that old?
Yeah. Pete Ulibarri, Paul's older brother. Trevor Harbolt. Didn't know he was that old.
Wait, Pete's his older brother?
Yeah.
Wait, isn't Pete the guy that...
Pete Ulibarri?
Guys,
You thought Pete Ulibarri was his dad? No, I'm pretty
I'm so stupid.
because he always commented about like they would be one of the better sibling duos.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
He always threw himself into there.
Stupid.
Ricky Snap, recognize that name?
Oh, wait. Is
Ricky
that
Snap?
He's a local guy, somewhat local.
I thought they were. I'm
Shasta
thinking of James
Chris.
Snappy Cole.
Oh,
Shasta
Shasta?
Chris is out there.
Dude, Dirty Shots.
This is just like this.
Trevor Harbolt. Is that old?
That's what I said. Yeah. I
What
didn't
the
know.
heck?
And then Owen Scoggins won. I think this is her fourth FP40 Worlds in a row. She won it by 25 strokes over Jennifer Allen.
That's tough.
Crazy.
Tough look.
Johnny
Pete
McRae.
Ulibarri. Wait, how old is Pete Ulibarri? He does not look old. He does not look
He's
old.
an MP40, so he's probably not that
40.
old.
Yeah, he's definitely...
Johnny McRae beat out Brian Schweberger.
definitely not an old guy.
No. Schwebby, 40 years old is not old.
I think that I'm
this
thinking
dude's
somebody
gonna
else in
change.
my head, and I'm embarrassed to say who I'm thinking of, so I'm not going
Okay.
to.
Johnny McRae took down MP50. Juliana Korver took down FP50. Kevin Babbitt, hadn't heard of him, MP55, but he beat out a Sir Patrick Brown.
Sir.
Remember
Oh,
Patty
wow,
Brown?
yeah.
Everybody's got a fire chicken in their bag, man. Whole reason I threw a Firebird. FP 55, you had a Lane
Patrick
King.
Brown's actually here to meet you right now.
He's also the only reason.
He just came back from meeting the Queen. She dubbed him Sir.
MP 60, we had Andrew back.
Andrew is
down.
back.
Amy
back.
Schiller took it down in FP 60. Bill Rohe.
There's so many divisions.
65.
Why don't they do every 10
Madam.
years?
Lori Chupa,
I guess
65.
a lot happens between 70 and 80.
MP 70, we had Harvey Brandt. And then MP 80.
Dude, Harvey.
Oh, now they
Here
go
he
every 10
is.
years. So when it matters the most to go 5-year increment, then they go 10 years. I guess
MP 80, Pete May.
was there only 3 of them?
Wow.
It looks like there's only 3, yeah.
7-stroke victory,
Come on,
considering
Pete.
there's only 3 people in the field.
Pete May took it down. He's now a multiple-time world champ. He's also the founder of college disc golf.
And
And
I'm
goated.
pretty sure he played ping pong on TV at some point.
he did, I think, in China.
Yeah.
I think he had a TV show in
Yeah.
China.
Was it-
Pete May,
He is one of the most interesting men in the world.
and I think he's a Grip
He
Block
is.
listener. So, Pete, if
Shout
you
out,
are listening,
Pete.
congratulations, Pete. Also, kind of the reason Foundation exists. College disc golf.
It's true.
You got to draw a long line to get there, but
You're
you
our
can
daddy,
get
Pete.
it there.
The line can be drawn.
The line can be drawn.
Papa Pete.
Papa Pete.
That's what we always call
That's
him.
what
Pop,
we've
pop.
always called him.
Big hug.
We'll just call him Pop Pop.
I want to just read through this. 'Cause I thought it was fun, which was Reddit there's a thread on Reddit by Clay the Bay 9.
Dude, that's a sick
Sick
Reddit
name.
He
name.
said,
Yeah, dude. Congratulations.
What's
Thank
your
you, Clay
disc
the Bay.
golf toxic trait? So I just wanted to read some of these because they're fun.
That's
Maybe I'll
funny.
relate to some of them.
I know mine.
I don't know.
He said his is walking to his lie before those who are up first have thrown. In my mind, if you're first to act, you should reach your lie before those who landed closer to the pin. But the reality is everyone's just having a good time and not putting premium on efficiency like I do. I never really done that one. This one I definitely do, which is turning away from a bad drive and frustration and missing where it landed, so now I have to take longer hunting for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did anybody see where that went?
Yeah, I mean, you just like
Concentrate. That's
get
everybody.
halfway up there. I'm just like, hey guys, I'm sorry. I saw it hit that tree and kick right, and I don't know what happened after that. This one was just commentating it. Overly encouraging to card mates discs mid-flight, like, oh, get around it, keep turning, skip, stable up.
I think everybody does that.
Everyone
Yeah.
does that
I
a
won't
little
say
bit.
it's toxic.
Commentary even does that. Getting frustrated when stuck behind a slow group and getting nasty when I'm part of the group someone else
Antsy.
is stuck behind.
Antsy.
Oh, antsy. I'm dyslexic. I read that nasty.
I
Same,
mean,
all letters are there.
I get like that. If there's somebody kind of coming up behind us, I'm antsy the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's why
should we let them play through?
I'm a big proponent of letting people play through for my own sake. I don't want to be stressing.
Yeah.
Samesies.
One of my least favorite things, and this happened to us on the golf course the other day, is when you wait to let someone play through. And they're like, oh, no, y'all go ahead. Like, I'm taking my time. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm asking you to play through because you're riding our tail.
Yeah.
Just like, go ahead through.
Yeah.
Please, for my sake. And they're like, no, y'all, we're just playing. We're having a good time out here. Don't you worry about it. I'm like,
Just do it.
but I'm not having a good time because you're breathing down my neck, and I want to have a good time out here. So,
Dude, you better if Hunter tells you
if
to play
I
through,
say play through,
you better play through.
dang
no,
it.
maybe that was the problem. It sounded like a question. It was a command.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're playing through.
Like just be like, I'm not gonna leave the tee box.
Okay.
So
Okay, fine. You're gonna take your time. Well, so am I. And I brought a picnic.
I'm gonna hit.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
set it
hit
up
20
right
balls off
here.
of every tee unless you play through right now. Then we'll see if you're having a good time, just having fun.
Mattman605 also said getting annoyed at people putting with premium plastic and/or non-traditional putters. I've been there.
Yeah.
I haven't been there putting with it.
I don't get annoyed, more so fascinated.
But like, I remember there was this dude. I don't know if he still plays disc golf or not. His name was Sean Tapley. He was dirty. Would beat me
Dirty Sean.
all the time in MA1 around here. I think he moved to California. Super athletic dude. But he putted at that time with A2s from Prodigy.
That's sick.
And
You know what? Here's
what was frustrating and what only reason it annoyed me was because he beat me.
Yeah.
well,
And you're like, I'm sitting there with my Mic Pro AVRs trying my hardest, all focused, and this dude's throwing flex shots from 30 feet into the dead center chains over and over.
do it works, man. Here, listen.
He did.
Bryson,
He worked it all over me.
Bryson DeChambeau was talking about how he floats his golf balls in Epsom salt the other
Yeah,
day
I
in
saw
order
that
to
clip.
figure out the imbalances. You know, some guys are willing to do just that extra amount, that extra 1%. And if you putt better with a different distance,
Are you
isn't a
comparing
putter,
that to putting with A2s?
Yes.
You consider putting with A2s doing that extra ounce, that
if
extra
it works
bit?
for you, I'm saying like you're not willing to look like a weirdo for something that works.
One is somebody studying something and figuring out the best way to use it. One is somebody putts with A2s.
And two are people doing something that works best for them, even though it sounds a little crazy because nobody else is floating their golf balls in bathtubs.
Con.
But I would understand if he like put it in a wind tunnel and was like, I understand that whenever it comes to putting, an A2 just flies the best, but he just putts with A2s
because it works best for him.
I know it was just a funny comparison.
No, dude. You're an op. Here's the thing. We don't actually know what the best putter is. I'm gonna die on that hill, dude. I'm just gonna keep saying that to the end of the day. It's like we just don't even know what good form is yet, man.
But does anyone, like in golf, do they know what the best ball is?
Here's what I'll tell you for free. I've seen guys putting with overstable drivers, like non-ironically, way better than I'll ever putt with a putter. And so that's...
One thing I did notice. Who cares? One thing I did notice, and I don't know what it contributes to this, but a lot of the European pros at this tournament this weekend, no, a lot of them had the snake strike putt. Like a lot of them had a really short attacking putt from like in the U.S. The most common putt you see is the like sweeping like spush putt. Yeah. But for some reason, whoever they're looking up to,
that's just the Euro.
They had it was a very like abrupt spin putt from right here, and they were deadly.
Different rules over there, man.
Well, no, it speaks to your thing of like
that European style.
Where we're at right now, there is no, and in golf, everyone putts different too. Like at the end of the day, it's a feel thing.
It's whatever works.
It's whatever gets the disc in the basket. Is what you do. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a DeWalt.
What's the equivalent of what?
You ever see how Bryson does the arm lock putting?
Yeah.
Where he locks it? What's that in disc golf? What's arm lock putting in disc golf?
Same thing. Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah, but you don't have anything to brace. You don't have anything to like...
Maybe it's... I think it's not putting. I think it's...
Sleeve.
Could you do that?
Wait, dude. That would be a sick video. You stick a pole up your shirt sleeve and you got to play locked arm.
Then you just turn to Dave Feldberg, which is who I was about to say.
He's got throw. He said he has the perfect biomechanics.
The Swedish biomechanic thing.
He's got the best. Yeah, they're from Sweden.
You just put like a brace on your elbow.
He's an astrophysicist.
Oh, should we play in braces?
Yeah. Like we need to go get braces.
Loser has to get braces.
Yeah, like on your mouth teeth.
On your mouth teeth, dude. Loser has to sign up for Invisalign.
My toxic trait that I've had to work against for the past few years, I learned that it was my toxic trait whenever we were doing Bogey Bro battle videos, is that if your throw doesn't look like Paul Macbeth, I think you're bad at disc golf.
Yeah,
my toxic
like
trait.
there's a lot of ways to get a disc down the fairway.
If you don't like, I would literally think, because I studied Paul Macbeth's form and form period and tried to have like the disc golf form, and if you didn't have the disc golf form, I think you're bad at disc golf. You happen to score well, but you're bad at disc golf. And then we go do Bogey Bro battles with people that just look awful, but they're freaking crushing the disc and playing like crazy. And so you guys, I feel like, have great looking form, and I've seen you guys get beat by a lot of people. Sorry,
you're not wrong.
They score better than you. Never lost, but yeah,
I don't understand what
my toxic trait is. I usually will just start snacking on the chalk in my chalk bag. Kind of snack. I keep forgetting it's not powdered sugar. Snack on it.
I think my toxic trait is the worse I play, the more encouraging I try to be to like card mates when I'm having a fun round.
Tyler, dude, the lighting on this set is not good, bro.
Like if I...
What's going on right now?
What? Like if I...
Flashlight into the camera.
If I feel awkward if I'm playing bad because I can get down in the dump. So if I'm having a casual round, I try to make sure everyone else is having fun when I'm not. And so I'll be like playing with that. Like, oh, dude, that was like such a sick shot. That was great, dude. You did so good there. That was awesome. And then I just get the fair and like try to rush my shot because I'm like, I'm holding everyone up.
Or you just make jokes out of all your throws.
Yeah.
You set yourself up for failure before you throw the disc because you're not throwing.
Not if I'm doing like a really competitive round, I don't.
Oh no, you don't.
But like if we're just having a fun round and I'm falling apart, that's my only way I can cope.
Yeah,
is I have to give me a reason to fall apart.
Yes,
like, well, okay, but I was doing 360 no scope, so like, what do you expect? Of course. All right, it's time for the solid selects. We didn't get to the top 10 or the other questions. We'll get those eventually.
We're so good at podcasting.
We're so good at podcasting. It's probably because we talked about 20 minutes about iced tea, but hey.
Okay, here we go. That was
Silas Select.
That whole revelation has been really, really big in my life. So
I don't want to pick up the bag because I think I'd be able to feel the disc.
Yeah, good call from Big Hunt.
The Silas Select is no one talk.
I haven't been here.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
He just said no one talk.
I think that it's a entropy.
Entropy.
We used to do that all the time, guys. You remember that?
Yeah, that was so rowdy.
Trevor, I remember the other day, by the other day, I mean earlier in this podcast, do you remember whenever we did all the pranks on Hunter while he was out of town, and we made a fake 1,000 rated zone and spray painted?
I was like, I thought you were talking about this last time. I'm like, we didn't prank him. Yeah, I remember.
So we went through so much effort to make a fake 1,000 rated zone.
All that just for the music to be too loud, man.
Gosh, dude, we need to throw that thing into Adobe Podcast AI.
Yeah, dude. So it sounds like.
No, You'd be like,
Hunter,
Hunter,
it's not that hard. Just think of a disc. What are you doing over there?
I want to win. I want to do it.
It's having an aneurysm. I'm going to take the Discraft Cicada.
Nice.
I want a.
You sweating over there, Silas? Huh? You like that pick, huh?
You know what? I'm gonna go with the. No, I'm not. I'm going back to it. I'm going with.
You can't second guess yourself, or you'll never live with yourself.
Invictus. I'm going with an Invictus.
You can't third guess yourself.
Do you even have an Invictus?
Doesn't matter. Pick it up.
What is it?
It's a Prophet.
I should have known.
Silas, dude, why did you pick that?
No one was close.
All right, he's ready to send the McDonald's challenge.
All right, that's it. We'll talk to you again. Actually, is the Preserve this weekend? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a preview show.
There's a preview show coming up, and then we'll talk to you again on next Monday to recap everything that goes down. We'll see you.